You. Hearing Kai Lin's tone, the realm lord of the monster realm's body suddenly stiffened, his eyes filled with an intense and furious growl. In the inheritance of the tin-colored heaven-swallowing python, there are many pieces of information about the center of the monster realm. Faced with the furious monster realm lord, Kai Lin extended her long fingers, casually waving the jade bottle in her palm. Inside the bottle was the original blood essence of the tin-colored heaven-swallowing python, which was entirely different from the blood given to the heavenly evil blood tiger. Kai Lin had expended a lot of effort to condense this drop of blood essence. The atmosphere in the entire divine hall became extremely tense, as though it could explode at any moment. It was clear to anyone that the crimson gaze in the monster realm lord's eyes contained a dreadful killing force. "Senior, have you made a decision?" After a brief silence, Xiao spoke again, his voice calm and unafraid. With their combined strength, the three of them weren't necessarily weaker than the monster realm lord. "I want 2 drops, otherwise the deal is off." The monster realm lord's fierce gaze gradually softened. Then he raised 2 fingers, his tone serious. "Kai Lin, let's go." Upon hearing the monster realm lord's words, Xiao let out a bitter laugh, grabbing Kai Lin's slender arm and quickly heading for the exit of the divine hall. Their speed was astonishing. However, just as they were about to leave, even the monster realm lord didn't notice the fleeting smile that flashed across Xiao face. It was fortunate that, in the endless greed in life, the monster realm lord chose the latter. Had he chosen the former, this situation would have been much harder to deal with. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In the quiet mountain forest, Xiao and Kai Lin shot forward at incredible speed. When they reached an open space in the void, Xiao flicked his hand, and the time portal leading back to the boundless fire domain quietly emerged. The time portal was deep and profound, filled with immense spatial power. Once Xiao and Kai Lin entered, they would embark on their journey back. "Is this how we're leaving?" As their steps moved toward the time portal, Kai Lin's lazy face showed a rare hint of regret. Her mesmerizing snake-like eyes gazed slowly toward the distant monster realm lord's divine hall, only to see that the figure remained rooted in place, unmoving. "Forget it. Since the senior desires the Doshin stage, let him keep it. I am just collecting this item on behalf of the Xiao clan's strongest." However, based on the inheritance of the tin-colored heaven-swallowing python, his lifespan is likely less than 10 years. If he cannot break through in those 10 years, he will likely be destroyed under the 8th heavenly tribulation. "Let's go. It's time to return home. These matters are no longer ours to worry about." With that, the 2 of them took off together, stepping into the time portal, returning to the boundless fire domain. Truly 2 cunning individuals. At the moment they entered the time portal, the green sky above them suddenly enveloped their bodies. An invisible demon power, as if some extraordinary force, surged within them, activating several of their powers simultaneously. This was the true power of the monster realm lord, the nearly 8th-tier reincarnation stage's ultimate strength. Hiss! Feeling the eerie green sky around them, Kai Lin's eyes sparkled with a beautiful tin-colored aura, and behind her, the tin-colored serpent spirit appeared. A terrifying force capable of devouring the heavens and earth descended. "No!" Xiao reached out to stop Kai Lin, who was about to unleash her full strength. A soft smile appeared on his face. The monster realm lord, unable to sit still any longer. But, speaking of Kai Lin, even though she only had the power of the 6th reincarnation stage, with the full inheritance of the tin-colored heaven-swallowing python, her real strength, when paired with the tin-colored serpent spirit, was something Xiao wasn't entirely confident he could defeat. At this moment, Kai Lin seemed to transform back into that cold and proud Medusa queen from the Dochi continent. No, to be precise, she was now likely the tin-colored heaven-swallowing python queen, feared throughout the great 1,000 worlds. "This deal I accept." Though somewhat reluctant, the monster realm lord's aged eyes revealed a sense of relief. The wood spirit pearl was indeed extremely precious, a treasured heirloom passed down through generations of the monster realm lords. It even had something to do with reaching the Doshin level. But, for the sake of breaking through the 8th-tier reincarnation stage, he had already spent too much of his own essence and vitality. He couldn't afford to gamble anymore, especially since the Second Great War of Heaven and Earth had already begun. As the Realm Lord of the Monster Realm, he had to protect the countless lives in the realm. Pleasure doing business. With the Monster Realm Lord's words, Xiao took the jade bottle from Kailin and completed the deal. In his hands, besides the Fire Spirit Pearl obtained from the Guardian Clan and the Water Spirit Pearl from the Immortal Realm, he now also held the Wood Spirit Pearl. 3 of the 5 Spirit Pearls were now in his possession. Let the heavenly evil blood tiger remain at the center of the monster realm. After making sure all the details about the essence blood were clear and resolving everything here, Xiao finally spoke politely. He knew that in the upcoming period, the Realm Lord of the Monster Realm would likely enter closed-door meditation, attempting to break through to the true 8th reincarnation stage. That's natural. Right now, the Celestial Realm, the Ghost Realm, and our Monster Realm are the only places one can trust. Together with your Endless Fire Domain, it's not bad. Farewell. For a moment, Xiao and Kailin slowly headed back to the Endless Fire Domain. This trip to the Monster Realm could be described as one full of rewards. As Xiao and Kailin left, with the Realm Lord of the Monster Realm handling a series of affairs in the Monster Realm, a chaotic figure stealthily entered the Monster Bee sky screen in the center of the Monster Realm. The 10-colored heaven-swallowing python, king of beasts, and even the corpses of several first-generation Realm Lords, I will gladly accept, but I have used countless methods to test and check. I have confirmed that there are no reincarnation fluctuations in Xiao body. But where is the 9th reincarnation of his previous life? I can't rest easy until I completely eliminate all his powers. After all, that guy is too extraordinary, whether in methods or wisdom. Despite the presence of several auras that nearly reached the 7th or even 8th reincarnation stage, the figure, bathed in a milky white halo, still wore a look of deep sorrow. Xiao, you must grow quickly. Those 2 guys have great ambitions, and they won't give you much time. Their lives, along with the Angel Kingdom, need you to settle them. When the time comes, I will definitely not treat you unfairly. With a rustling sound, a gloomy voice rang out, and the world fell silent again. However, in the resting caves of past Realm Lords in the Monster Realm Center, the long-dead figures and corpses of countless years mysteriously began to revive. They quietly followed the figure and left, unnoticed. The combined strength of these powerful beings was terrifying. Perhaps only someone at the true 9th reincarnation stage could deal with them. But how many people at the 9th reincarnation stage exist in the entire Great Thousand Worlds? What is this person's purpose? Everything seemed to grow even more mysterious. After their journey to the Monster Realm concluded, the 2 returned to the Endless Fire Domain. The headquarters of the Endless Fire Domain now stood in a vast domain, protected by the sacred flame sea of fire. The burning flames accentuated its majestic reputation. In the Endless Fire Domain, it seemed no evil aura could infiltrate. After all, with the protection of the sacred flame sea, evil forces had difficulty permeating. The entire domain looked prosperous, and the Dodi continent under its rule also flourished. But just as everything seemed to be developing steadily, something abnormal occurred in a strange area within the Endless Fire Domain. This area belonged to one of the 4 continents under the Endless Fire Domain's jurisdiction, governed by Princess of the Stars. In a particular void, there existed a deep abyss, where some strange aura continued to emerge. Princess of the Stars and others had refrained from reporting this to Xiao, given his many responsibilities. However, the results of their abyssal investigations had not progressed, and since there had been no harm, they decided to conceal the matter. Xiao and Kailin had returned to the Endless Fire Domain for several days, enjoying a period of peace. During this time, they carefully pondered the many opportunities and treasures gained from their journey to the Monster Realm. 2 sacred flames, a Dominator artifact, and even the legacy of the 10-colored heaven-swallowing python. These opportunities were truly coveted. Meanwhile, Xun'er, who had been in seclusion, made significant progress and emerged from her meditation. With the profound mysteries of the reincarnation seal at her brow, her strength had reached the 5th reincarnation stage. However, to advance further, she would likely need to find the true body of the 9 mystical flames master, ensuring her reincarnation's success. After all, the 5th reincarnation stage was the true dividing line in the reincarnation stages. As for the Heaven Fiend Foxfire brought back from the monster realm, its fate had already been decided. Xun'er and Kai Lin had agreed to give it to Mu Yingying, who was still in seclusion. After all, the girl's life was truly pitiful. With the flame mantra she cultivated, Mu Yingying was the one most suited for these mid-tier sacred flames. Now that the hidden dangers in Kai Lin's body have been resolved, our immediate priority is the strategy for dealing with the second great war of heaven and earth. During this time, while many of the top forces in the Great Thousand Worlds have yet to face extraterritorial invasions, there's a sense of unease. The Palace of the Great Thousand seems to be delayed by some troublesome issues. We'll soon begin the Four-Realm Alliance meeting here. In a quiet courtyard within the Boundless Fire Domain, 2 women and a man appeared. Xun'er, her palm resting on her delicate head, gazed at Xiao with a somewhat entranced expression. Beside her, Kai Lin remained as cold and elegant as ever, though a faint, barely perceptible aura surrounded her. This power, even Kai Lin could not fully control, as it stemmed from the 10-colored heaven-swallowing python, a force too unique and strange. They should have already arrived. Let's go, Xiao chuckled lightly, lifting his head to gaze at the high skies of the boundless fire domain. The void there seemed slightly distorted, as if a mighty surge of energy was approaching. Turning his gaze back to the 2 women beside him, Xiao couldn't help but feel a surge of pride and happiness. Xun'er was a proud daughter of the ancient clan, a noble young lady with grace and elegance. Kai Lin, cold by nature, had an extremely aloof personality. Both women had their unique charms. They were different from Mu Yingying, who was playful and cute, or Yun, who had a calm demeanor. However, any of the 4 women's expressions could easily stir Xiao heartstrings. Perhaps, this was one of the reasons for both protection and the pursuit of strength. Boom! The endless altar of the Boundless Fire Domain was a sacred flame altar formed by several of the domain's mistresses and Xiao, protected by the power of the sacred flame. Its holy light rose endlessly, greatly enhancing the cultivation of those who trained in fire attributes. It was also the highest-ranking area in the domain. Usually, this place was heavily guarded, and no strong person could easily enter. According to many powerful beings, the sacred flame energy lingering within the endless altar was said to contain over 10 types of holy flames. At this moment, within the void of the boundless fire domain, vast waves of energy surged through the space channels connecting various realms. Even above the endless altar, many high-ranking figures of the boundless fire domain appeared. The center of the ghost realm, Vice-Realm Lord and Soul-Devouring Master, along with the master of the ferocious soul domain, Duan Qifei. A middle-aged man with a gloomy face stepped out of the void. His eyes were as deep as the stars. Upon appearing, he lifted his gaze to observe the boundless fire domain, a hint of pride on his face. This is the boundless fire domain. It's far stronger than my headquarters in the soul-devouring domain. No wonder this brat looks down on my teachings. Soul-Devouring Master smirked, landing lightly. Beside him, Duan Qifei, with an ethereal, celestial appearance, also glanced around, her eyes subtly searching for something. When her beautiful eyes fell on the approaching figure of Xiao, a warmth flickered in her heart. However, upon seeing the 2 women beside him, a faint sigh of resignation passed through her, mingling with a quiet ache in her chest. In the center of the celestial realm, Vice-Realm Lord, Azura King of War, and Moon God Palace's Palace Master, Yun is back as well? Another voice echoed, and dazzling light flickered through the space channel. Leading the group was Yun, flanked by a stunning woman whose cold eyes, combined with the moon-shaped mark on her forehead, exuded an awe-inspiring aura. As Yuru arrived, she immediately noticed Xiao and the 2 women by his side. Her brows furrowed slightly, and she lightly gritted her teeth. The reason she had come to represent the celestial realm in this alliance negotiation was largely to visit her father. Don't worry, your father has been under the protection of the boundless fire domain all this time. After the meeting, you can visit him at any time. Yun smiled warmly, sensing Yuru's concerns. Yuru hummed softly, not speaking further, instead waiting in silence for the arrival of others. Behind the two women, a middle-aged man radiating a chilling, bloodthirsty aura appeared. His hands were covered in the blood of countless extraterritorial evil clan members, and the faint energy he emanated was difficult to comprehend. This was a renowned figure in the Great Thousand Worlds, the newly reconstructed Vice-Realm Lord of the Celestial Realm, the acting Realm Lord of the Center of the Monster Realm, the Nine-Tailed Demon Fox, and the Master of the Demon Realm, Black Fiend Dragonwolf. Two figures emerged, their powerful demonic aura spreading everywhere. The Elder of the Fire Sprite Clan and Lord Little E. Moments later, the void shifted once more, and a brilliant flame light surged, sweeping across the endless altar. One familiar figure after another arrived. The key figures of this alliance were all gathered. The Monster Realm, Ghost Realm, Celestial Realm, Fire Sprite Clan, and the Boundless Fire Domain. All parties for the Four-Realm Alliance had arrived, and time was of the essence. Everyone, please take a seat. Looking at the familiar faces before him, Xiao smiled casually, the fire seats in the endless altar materializing. Cloud Yun's journey to the Celestial Realm not only greatly enhanced Yunqi's alchemy skills, but also saw the complete transfer of the Floral God Palace to Hua Qianqian, solidifying an unprecedented relationship between the two factions, with many tasks accomplished along the way. This guy, his strength has increased again. Whether intentional or not, a faint blush appeared on Yun's cheeks. After a moment, she could only bite her silver teeth lightly and take her seat. Others also took their seats, but the powerful figures gathered here were nothing short of terrifying. The soul-devouring master of the Ghost Realm was at the 6th reincarnation stage, while Duan Qifei was also at the 6th reincarnation stage. The Azura King of the Celestial Realm was at the 6th reincarnation stage, and Yuru was at the peak of the 5th reincarnation stage. The Nine-Tailed Demon Fox of the Monster Realm was at the 7th reincarnation stage, and the Black Fiend Dragonwolf was at the 5th reincarnation stage. The Grand Elder of the Fire Sprite Clan was at the 5th reincarnation stage, and Little E had already reached the half-step 5th reincarnation stage. With the addition of the Xiao clan's guardian in the Boundless Fire Domain, Feng Wanner's lineage, their combined strength was now unprecedentedly powerful. The speed at which your strength grows, it's a bit terrifying. As everyone settled down, a strange smile appeared on the soul-devouring master's face. He stared intently at Xiao, and after a moment, he exclaimed in surprise. He had traveled through the Great Thousand Worlds and painstakingly obtained an evil artifact, raising his power to the peak of the 5th reincarnation stage. After the Ghost Realm's catastrophe ended, he used the precious pills Xiao crafted to step into the 6th reincarnation stage. This opportunity was enough to make anyone envious. But how long had it been since parting ways with Xiao? This guy's power seemed to be beyond his comprehension. Cough, cough. Under the soul-devouring master's gaze, Xiao could only force a dry smile. He certainly couldn't say that his strength was simply the result of everything falling into place. After all, the powerful figures seated here were all famous individuals in their respective regions. Others had spent countless years in painstaking cultivation, yet they hadn't reached the strength Xiao had after just 100 years of training. Saying that out loud would be too discouraging. Reminded by the soul-devouring master, the representatives of the four great powers exchanged puzzled glances as they looked at Xiao. You all left hastily during the Ghost Realm mission? This is a top-tier celestial technique, heaven-swallowing and earth-devouring. Combined with the soul-devouring talisman, it has remarkable effects. In an instant, the soul-devouring master waved his hand, and a pitch-black scroll appeared out of nowhere, shooting toward Xiao. A faint devouring force emanated from it. Even within the endless altar, the sacred flame seemed to feel a strange sense of being devoured. This is a top-tier wood element celestial technique, Stonewood Divine Realm. Seeing the soul-devouring master's display, the nine-tailed demon fox followed suit. A green scroll, filled with boundless vitality, appeared out of thin air. The Celestial Realm and the Fire Sprite clan exchanged glances. Clearly, they had not made such thorough preparations and could only quietly remain by the side. "Thank you, both seniors." Xiao gently reached out to accept the scroll. He knew very well that at the 6th or 7th reincarnation stage, only top-tier celestial techniques could handle opponents at the same level. Otherwise, though techniques at the celestial skill level wouldn't cause substantial harm to foes of the same rank. Beyond the 6th or 7th reincarnation stage, powers like the Realm Lord of the Monster Realm likely controlled semi-divine tier Do techniques. After that, it seemed to move into demigod tier, and then true divine tier Do techniques. Looking at the slightly strange atmosphere in the room, the high-ranking members of the Boundless Fire Domain, sitting behind Xiao, couldn't help but break into cold sweats. Their Domain Lord seemed to be truly extraordinary. Domain Lord, esteemed elders, it should be time to discuss the alliance. Not long after, Xun'er, who had been sitting behind Xiao, stood and spoke. Back then, her strength was at the 3rd reincarnation stage. After failing her tribulation, she had become so frail. But with the help of the Boundless Fire Domain's Pill Hall, not only did she restore her beauty, but her strength had also broken through to the 4th reincarnation stage. Yet, Xun'er still held a grudge against Xiao for annihilating their guardian lineage. Even though she knew there must have been some misunderstanding, until the truth came to light, she still couldn't convince the guardians behind her. "Elders, let's proceed with the main business." As soon as the words left her mouth, the previously gentle atmosphere began to tense up. They all knew that the upcoming discussion about the alliance would not be a simple matter. The alliance was a small matter, but the actions that followed it would be much more significant. The Second Great War of Heaven and Earth has already begun, and the situation in the Great Thousand Worlds is tense. The purpose of gathering all of you seniors is naturally to strengthen the bonds between us, form an alliance, and create mutual protection among the factions. Xiao's calm voice echoed in everyone's ears, as loud as thunder. At present, the only trustworthy factions are the Ghost Realm, the Monster Realm, and the Celestial Realm. Factions like the Fire Sprite clan, which lack clarity in their movements and identities, can only others who wish to join the alliance. Their inclusion will be decided collectively by everyone. Once the alliance is formed, it will be named the Endless Flame Alliance, with Xiao as the alliance leader. A council of elders will be established, and any member who surpasses the 6th reincarnation stage can join unconditionally. The alliance leader will have the power to command the faction and make decisions. Kai Lin's cold eyes flickered as she spoke softly, finalizing the specific details of the alliance. Of course, the realms in the 3 worlds that have received Xiao's favor will not oppose the formation of the alliance. What truly concerns Xiao, however, are the actions to be taken after the alliance is established. Will he aim to remain in a corner of the world, or will he take the initiative? Agreed. Good. Accepted. The powerful figures nodded in unison, naturally agreeing with what Kai Lin had said. Then, from this day onward, the Endless Flame Alliance is officially formed. Our goal is to take proactive action in defense of our homes and push back the extraterritorial evil clans. Next, everyone should briefly outline the strength and resources of your respective forces so that the alliance can understand the limits of its combat power and make plans for future actions. After Xiao finished speaking, his gaze suddenly narrowed with curiosity. Having already experienced the events in the Ghost and Celestial realms, he had a rough understanding of their powers. However, the mysterious Monster Realm and the Fire Sprite clan seemed a bit unclear in terms of strength and resources. Just as Xiao's words fell, a trace of surprise appeared in everyone's eyes, except for the soul-devouring master. This seemingly harmless individual was, in fact, quite decisive when it came to action. With such a capable person as the leader of the Endless Flame Alliance, the concerns that had lingered in their minds slowly eased. In the Ghost Realm, Thunderlord has regained control of the Ghost God's 1,000 Machine Umbrella, and Duan Qifei holds the 10,000 Evil Orb. Their powers are gradually merging through reincarnation, and Thunderlord is likely to break through from the eightfold reincarnation stage to the true ninth reincarnation stage. Duan Qifei's strength will also surge due to the reincarnation seal, bringing her to the eighth reincarnation stage. As for other forces, the Ghost Realm suffered great losses during the Great Catastrophe. In the Ghost Realm Center, there are only a few who have reached the sixth reincarnation stage, and I alone am at the fifth reincarnation stage. There are barely 10 others at the fourth reincarnation stage. The Soul-Devouring Master was the first to speak, revealing part of the Ghost Realm's strength, but his tone made it clear that the situation was not optimistic. Eighth, or even ninth? Hearing the Soul-Devouring Master's bold declaration, the other powerful figures couldn't help but have their eyes twitch slightly. The reincarnation seal was a legacy left by reincarnation stage experts before they perished. When a reincarnation stage expert died, they could use a special power to disperse the reincarnation seal and choose a worthy successor, called a reincarnator. If the chosen descendant succeeded in their reincarnation, the original expert's strength would not only return to its peak, but might even break past its limits, with a small chance of reaching the next tier. Thunderlord had reached the eighth reincarnation stage in his prime, so if their reincarnation succeeds, the Ghost Realm would possess the peak strength of the Great Thousand Worlds. However, this method had obvious drawbacks. If the chosen reincarnator perished, both of them would fall together. Our celestial realm is a bit weaker. There are only a few experts at the fifth reincarnation stage, and one at the sixth. Other reincarnation stage experts are quite scarce, and even Lady Chang'e is nowhere to be found. Yuru nodded with a slight shake of her head, clearly indicating that, after the celestial realm's destruction and reconstruction, it would take considerable time to return to its former glory. Our monster realm's realm lord is currently in seclusion, attempting to break through to the eighth reincarnation stage. The vice realm lord is investigating some hidden matters. As for the other powerhouses, we have several dozen at the fifth reincarnation stage, a few at the sixth, and a handful at the seventh. The nine-tailed demon fox spoke with a hint of pride, as the monster realm was the most powerful realm aside from the human realm. However, after the fall of the King of Beasts, the strength of the monster realm had been pressured by the human realm, with no one at the ninth reincarnation stage. Since then, the monster realm's strength had been greatly diminished. Second brother, our Fire Sprite clan is actually a bit stronger than the celestial realm now. After all, many of the old-timers have awoken, and their strength, influenced by Lady Yaoji, has reached the fifth and even sixth reincarnation stages. Little E grinned, clearly representing the Fire Sprite clan on this occasion. I see. At that moment, Xiao felt somewhat reassured. These strengths and resources were undoubtedly the Endless Flame Alliance's biggest assets. With so many powerful figures at the fifth, sixth, and even seventh reincarnation stages, even during the Second Great War of Heaven and Earth, self-preservation would be no problem. The real issue was how to allocate this power. Moreover, Xiao hadn't forgotten that one of the Alliance's objectives was to find allies of the Xiao clan from the past and investigate Thunderlord's annihilation of clans. Only once these issues were fully resolved would the Endless Flame Alliance be united. As the leader of the Endless Flame Alliance, I hereby decree, the Celestial Realm and the headquarters of the Boundless Fire Domain shall open 2 alchemy halls. They will offer all reincarnation stage experts within the Endless Flame Alliance full support. Even a small increase in power would be greatly beneficial. At the same time, we will open the channel for recruiting talent. Anyone wishing to join the Endless Flame Alliance must go through a thorough identity verification process. Once they are accepted, whether individual or force, they will receive corresponding rewards in the form of pills. Experts above the 5th reincarnation stage will have 9-tier pills personally crafted by me. One by one, commands flowed from Xiao mouth in a well-organized manner. Hearing these words, the high-ranking members of the Endless Altar, whether they were newly joined figures like the White Bone Elder, the Cold-Blooded General, or the senior elders, were all stunned. Their expressions loosened in surprise. 8th tier and even 9th tier pills had likely become strategic resources during the Second Great War of Heaven and Earth, and Xiao Yan's generosity in offering them was astounding. Xiao Yan's influence was undeniable. Within the entire Great Thousand Worlds, The only forces capable of refining ninth-tier pills were the Alchemy Holy Hall of the Celestial Realm and the Alchemy Sacred Grounds at the center of the human realm. Such a grand gesture was akin to rallying forces from across the great thousand worlds. After a moment, Xiao spoke again, his tone and expression calm and composed. Though refining ninth-tier pills was a complex and painstaking process, with the help of one from the Alchemy Holy Hall, as well as himself and Yunqi, the three of them had the strength to handle it. Furthermore, this was all in preparation for the ultimate showdown. After all, neither the Great Thousand Palace nor the center of the human realm could be trusted. Leaders' actions are truly wise. At this moment, even the Celestial Realm's god of war, the Xun'er king, couldn't help but give Xiao a thumbs up. Such resolve was not something an ordinary person could possess. The cards to gather the powerful have already been played. Now, we will see what choice those wavering factions make. But the situation in the Great Thousand Worlds remains grim. Since the calamity in the Ghost Realm ended, the extraterritorial evil clan seems to have vanished without a trace. I fear they are plotting something in the shadows. Currently, the stances of the territorial world, the Buddhist realm, and the demon realm are unclear. This is likely our most pressing concern. After a brief moment, a hint of worry appeared in Xiao eyes. Though his peak strength at the 6th reincarnation stage was formidable, against the unknown forces of the extraterritorial evil clan, he still felt somewhat powerless. Now, we need to find the location of the demon-suppressing domain and rescue the strongest powers there. Additionally, we should focus on rescuing Lady Yaoji of the Fire Sprite clan. After all, she alone knows the exact whereabouts of the Sacred King and other powerful figures. Once Lady Yaoji is freed, the fight in the Netherworld is likely to begin. Indeed, one of the recently awakened elders of the Fire Sprite clan told me to inform the leader that only Lady Yaoji knows the whereabouts of the Sacred King. This action is imperative. Since that's the case, let's begin the search. Next, we will reorganize our respective factions and then search for the demon-suppressing prison. The alliance is formed, and from this moment on, everything must be handled with urgency. Leader is absolutely right. Yes. In an instant, the Endless Flame Alliance was officially established, a new force slowly rising. Domain Lord. Someone's coming. Just as the conversation ended and everyone was about to return to reorganize their forces, a guard responsible for the spatial portal in the Boundless Fire domain suddenly shouted. Before the words had even fully escaped his mouth, a bizarre green mist suddenly surged out from the void of the Boundless Fire domain and exploded in the quiet hall. As the energy surged, it resembled a brilliant firework, shaking the entire still Boundless Fire domain. Within the vast green mist, a strange force was emanating, twisting even the sacred flames that protected the Boundless Fire domain. It was as though a terrifying presence was slowly descending. Extraterrestrial evil clan? In an instant, the hearts of the many powerful beings on the endless altar skipped a beat, their expressions growing grave, as radiant and overwhelming energy began to form, subtly disturbing the very air. If the source of this energy was indeed a fluctuation from the extraterritorial evil clan, a true storm would surely follow. This is not the fluctuation of the extraterritorial evil clan, but rather an extremely strange power. It's poison mist. Move aside. At this moment, Kai Lin's delicate face turned cold, her enchanting snake-like eyes flickering. Her slender hand moved, aiming directly at the center of the explosion in the portal hall. It seemed as though she were grasping something. Once that dazzling poison mist spread throughout the headquarters of the Boundless Fire domain, it would likely bring about a true disaster. After all, even with Kai Lin's strength, handling such poison mist felt slightly stinging to her. If other powerful beings were exposed to it, they would be instantly corroded into pus and blood. Xiao, Xun'er, and Yun all furrowed their brows, their internal powers swirling. The establishment of the Endless Flame Alliance was a top-secret matter, unknown even to the strongest factions in the Great Thousand Worlds. Normally, the extraterritorial evil clan would not have knowledge of it. Excluding the possibility of an attack or a warning, The current situation made their minds tighten. Heh. Kai Lin's imposing aura filled the air, a cold, killing intent radiating out from her. Combined with the dazzling tin-colored heaven swallowing python, the many strong figures present narrowed their eyes. The strength of Kai Lin has actually reached the 6th reincarnation stage. Within the boundless fire domain, it seems that only Xiao Yin, Feng Wan'er, and others are truly formidable. The rest, including the recently joined White Bone Elder, are nothing compared to Kai Lin. When did her power become so terrifying? And it's not just Kai Lin. Even Yun and Xun'er, who are by Xiao Yan's side, are emitting remarkable fluctuations in their power. The 5th and even 6th reincarnation stages, even within the Great Thousand Worlds, this is an incredibly significant level of strength. Cough, cough. I've finally arrived. Kai Lin's wrist flicked, and instantly, a glowing light surrounded by emerald green energy surged into everyone's view. A faint, weak voice emanated from within. This voice? When the high-ranking individuals heard the faint sound, they were all startled. Don't approach. That emerald green aura is a deadly poison mist. Even with my current strength, I can't guarantee I can handle it. Kai Lin's face grew cold. As soon as Kai Lin finished speaking, the entire altar fell silent. Even Kai Lin, who had inherited the tin-colored heaven swallowing python's power, felt powerless in the face of such poison mist. The emerald green cloud trembled, and the strange poison mist inside actually began to burn and corrode the sacred flame, distorting the very void. But after a moment, a middle-aged woman appeared, her face marked with exhaustion. She was covered in wounds, close to the brink of death. Poison God Palace's poison soul child? Looking at this figure, Xiao Yan immediately recognized her. This was the same poison hag who had led little fairy doctor to the poison god palace before. How could she be in such a state now? Bathed in the emerald green poison mist, her face was covered with blood-red veins, spreading like nerves across her face. It was eerie and terrifying, and black. Evil energies were constantly devouring what little life remained in her body. She seemed to be on the verge of death. Xiao Domain Lord, and all of you, please, save the demon realm. Tears streamed down the poison hag's face, and her voice became choked with emotion. What happened? At that moment, the gazes of countless powerhouses on the altar were focused on the poison hag, a sense of foreboding filling their hearts. Had the demon realm been attacked by the extraterritorial evil clan, making it their next target? But why hadn't they received any news about it? The realm lord of the demon realm's central domain betrayed the demon realm under the threats and temptations of the extraterritorial evil clan and allied with them. With the help of the 5th evil god and the holy demon lord, he ascended to become the new 6th evil god of the extraterritorial realm. Now, with 2 evil gods and countless forces from the extraterritorial evil clan, they are leading their army, attempting to purge the entire demon realm and open the portal between the extraterritorial evil clan and the Great Thousand Worlds. The poison soul child said weakly, her voice filled with unbearable sorrow. The scum from the demon realm's center. They deserve to die 1,000 deaths. The master of soul devouring, upon hearing this, was furious. The demon realm was one of the most unique regions among the 7 realms. It was hard to believe that it had been targeted by the extraterritorial evil clan. The poison god palace has fallen. Little fairy doctor took the lead and rashly activated the poison god cauldron to protect many lives. Without her protection, the entire poison god realm would have turned to dust by now. But even with the 5th evil god and the realm lord of the demon realm's central domain leading their forces, the demon realm's inhabitants can't resist. The survival of the demon realm is now only a matter of time. The poison hag's words were cold and cutting, sending a chill through the hearts of the powerhouses present. So it was the leaders of the demon realm center who betrayed them. No wonder we haven't received any news. At this moment, the many powerful individuals felt a deep sense of gravity, and their eyes instinctively turned to Xiao Yan. Now that the Endless Flame Alliance had been established, it seemed that someone needed to take the lead in every move. Alliance leader Xiao, what should we do now? In an instant, representatives from the 4 great powers turned their gaze toward Xiao Yan, their eyes brimming with fighting spirit. The beings of the demon realm were both righteous and evil. With two evil gods attacking, the situation was undoubtedly complicated. Whether to intervene or just watch from the sidelines, it was all up to Xiao. The purpose of establishing the Endless Flame Alliance is for self-preservation, but also to ensure the safety of the Great Thousand Worlds. No egg will remain intact under a broken nest. Everyone, return and regroup your forces. Tomorrow, follow me to the demon realm. Two evil gods, this time. We'll make sure the extraterritorial evil clan will never return. Before long, a fierce and determined look flashed in Xiaoyan's eyes, his voice full of an overwhelming, earth-shattering aura. This guy, he has truly grown. They had all experienced, or at least heard of, the brutal devastation during the First Great War of Heaven and Earth. If the calamity in the demon realm was left unchecked, and if the extraterritorial evil clan successfully seized the demon realm, opening the gateways between the evil clan and the Great Thousand Worlds, allowing their army to pour into the world, then it would truly be a disaster. Currently, many of the pinnacle powerhouses in the Great Thousand Worlds were still trapped in the demon-suppressing domain, or the reincarnation sea, unable to awaken. If a full-scale battle were to break out, the Great Thousand Worlds would undoubtedly be at a disadvantage. Go! After these words, everyone dispersed, returning to their respective realms to marshal their forces and set up defenses. The bloodshed and storms of the demon realm slowly began to unfold. This time, the demon realm,